let's start, guys, with first Warhammer news, which is basically about the new Warhammer Plus animation that consists of Sisters of Silence. And I haven't seen it yet, but there's already, like you can see on the screen, some controversy around how things are depicted. I wanted to see it, but unfortunately I don't have access to Warhammer Plus, and I have to ask a friend if they can give me access somehow. Tsunami, anything?
Do you want me to read or just my opinion?
Well, first we gotta read and then our opinions.
All right.
Sure.
So starting off with Marshall Bohemian, starts off with okay, so Games Workshop forgot that power weapons can't be blocked by regular weapons because the molecular disruption fields around their blades. Also, apparently, they think Sororitas pattern power armor is made of cloth or leather at the midsection, with how a basic knife just goes through the material. Fuck this company. What a fucking joke. In before a million woke weirdos come out of the woodwork to defend it. And then there's the video, of course.
Trouble.
Sure.
The Emperor protects. Ventia, stay low. Keep behind me. Requena!
Sorry, I mute myself. I said that this is just like a game. I mean, this all looks very awesome.
Let's see some more. Aha.
Did it cut through? Okay, now it did. Okay, he should be dead already, maybe. Well, he should be dead, yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I mean, we have more to read about this. First glance, though, and of course we're gonna get the opinion of Chainsword. Well, orcs are very strong, so basically, with the power of a lot of strength, maybe he can cut through this armor because it's a very close proximity. But yeah, I mean, they're crazy strong. So that's one thing. The other thing that we're going to discuss is that when you look at any TV show at all, if you have, I mean, if you ever researched about armor in general, from like many periods, I mean, real armor, not real armor, always when you watch something on the screen, I can't even recall a moment where they depicted armor correctly. There's always this moment where you see soldiers just wearing it, so we can see that they are wearing it, but it never works. It never works how it should. So that's a movie Hollywood kind of a trend that has been going on for as long as Hollywood was created, basically.
They have something that even in Knights of the Seven Kingdom.
No, actually, Matt Stone said that yeah, that will
That-
totally go
that
through.
is okay.
I mean, when Dunn got stabbed on the side, he
with the
said
chainmail,
yeah, he said
that
that
he was
that's
wearing,
possible. But the only thing that was not okay, I mean, not real, is the fact that he's gonna be dead immediately
Yeah.
and bleed out in seconds because the wound was too big and the place that he was tapping, whatever. So that's one thing. Like in medieval armor, we are talking about other things, of course, but a lot of the times, full dressed knights in metal armor, we have to resort to brawl because it's very hard to find a spot between like the armpits and whatever where they can actually stab someone.
Yeah.
The armor is just constructed this way. There's not many weak spots. Now, when it comes to Warhammer, of course, we have a fantasy setting, and these the types of armor that they are wearing is amazing, obviously, but it's also very close to the body. It's not like Space Marines where there's huge chunk of space between the body, and they have under armor garment type of a high-tech suit that's connected to their bodies.
Yeah, also they're enhanced under the armor, so I mean,
They're
you
also
can stab them a
enhanced.
bit more.
Yeah. So I think that the way that Marshall reacted here is about more having to do with fabricated outrage. It's really an objective outrage. I mean, I get it. I get it, but we always have this. This is not a Warhammer thing. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get here. This is not a Warhammer thing. I also talked to Chainsword personally, by the way. He said that he has to see the episode to be completely like objective or try to assess it, more correctly.
Maybe
But
it's a context thing. Yeah. So
yeah, we haven't. We both. I mean, he hasn't come back to me saying that he watched it, and I also haven't seen it.
So yeah, it seems more like a case of really we have forgotten the powers and things that then actually we intentionally make them weaker or something. Or maybe just the people who made it don't know anything. Games Workshop decided to not to tell you. Still, you have to do your research, but really it looks like an item sword, not a wolf thingy.
Okay,
Doesn't seem like it.
let's see this thing about the weapons. So weapons can be blocked by regular weapons because of the molecular disruption fields around their blades. Also, apparently, when did the weapon got blocked? Tsunami, did you see something like that?
Yes. She first strikes and the orc immediately blocks, and it's like totally stops it.
Ah, okay, let me see that. Is it here?
Right when they first start fighting, and he runs at her. He throws a strike, or she throws a strike, I believe, and he blocks it completely with his weapon.
Ah, okay, okay, I haven't seen it yet. The second time.
It's about to happen. She goes. It's right here, I think. Yep. He goes melee.
Okay, so here it is.
And that. Yep. Just happened.
Eruption fields around their blades. Also, apparently, regular weapons because of the molecular description fields around their. Well, what is going to then happen in this situation?
Well, maybe she has to break his weapon.
I mean, her weapon's going to go through his weapon.
To his weapon, yeah. So
Like a
he can't block her,
lightsaber.
is what he's saying. Yes.
Like a lightsaber.
Like a lightsaber.
That makes a lot of sense because
Yeah,
this is not just electricity. If it
then,
was, then yeah, probably.
Then again, can the orcs create whatever weapon they want?
Out of their ass?
Yeah.
Well, not immediately.
Not immediate.
Not as far as I know. Okay, so
I
let's
think
see.
that's kind of the point where they're trying to get at. We're just going to continue to read through this, but I think that for this world, the lore that they've built up, the environment and everything else, let's say the sword had gone through and it went right into his shoulder, and he just essentially laughs at it because that's what an orc would do, and then it turned into fisticuffs. That would be more quote unquote realistic based on the rules of the world that we know so far. But instead, it's just like, well, I could pick up a fucking stick off the ground and fuck your power sword.
Yeah,
So,
for sure I agree with that. But I mean, this is not like the armor thing where we can say that maybe he can stab her because he's super strong. I think some of the comments that I read also pointed to this, but the power sword thing, I don't see how that can be excused.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. It should be indeed like a lightsaber. You can't block it with a normal sword.
the thing that I think you really want to focus on, because they start getting into like weird stuff about the science behind it, and this is like, I love this shit. I love when nerds argue about nerd shit, and I don't know enough, and I'm not scientific enough to know this, and it makes me go and look things up. The part that I think you need to focus on is when she stabs him in the mouth, and it completely goes out the back of his head. Like, that's the part I think you should kind of pause and then continue reading the rest of what they have to say here.
All right.
Yeah. So
I don't see it go through his head yet.
So
Wait.
it's at that moment right there, right when you see she punches the sword through essentially his mouth or neck area. I don't remember which one, but like this is where the technology comes into play and what would happen. And then the argument that I saw in the chat is like, if an orc thinks that he can keep doing it, blah blah blah, and then they start arguing in the chat. So yeah, I don't know how much you want to go into the comments, but that's where the this seemed to be the bigger part of like what everyone was upset about.
Okay, if you want to read the comments from this
Sure.
thread,
So from War Master, the power sword being blocked by a piece of scrap iron is bad enough, but what's really bad is when she jams the thing through the back of its throat and it doesn't immediately pierce his skull and fry his brain instantly. It's a fucking power sword. They're designed to cut through armor, including power armor. The shiv I can almost quote unquote give a pass to because orcs are retard strong, except he shouldn't have been alive in the first place to shiv her with her power sword jammed into his fucking mouth.
yeah.
And from the Warhammer 40k wiki, we've got a description of a power sword, an Astartes power sword. A power sword is a power weapon that has been shaped into a sword of varying lengths and designs crafted from one of any number of different materials, though usually adamantium. When its power cell is activated, often by touching a control located on the hilt, the blade is sheathed in a lethal corona of disruptive energy. This energy field allows the blade to carve through flesh, bone, and most forms of armor plate alike, making a power sword a highly effective close combat weapon.
Got it. And then War Master says,
Oh, chainsword? Or do you want me to go, like,
no,
you
War
want to keep
Master.
going?
War Master below this post, below his own post. And it's such a
Okay.
fucking shame because the
And it's such a
animations,
fucking shame because the animation itself is pretty good. Then they start in, and this is where all the battling that I was talking about comes up.
okay.
Did you guys forget how orc tech works? A chunk of metal in their hands is basically a power weapon. It cuts through. It cuts because they believe it cuts. It blocks because they believe it blocks. War
Ah,
Master continues. That's not at all how it works. It's much more passive than that, and it requires hundreds of thousands of them to believe it. That's why they can't build gargants unless there are enough of them around and all rallied to the same cause. Continue with replies. Seems like that's how it works, seeing how there's lots of instances of space marines dying to orc choppas. But they should just be essentially invincible because ceramite. War Master continues. Warhammers do die to orc choppas, Jesus, due to a combination of the mass of the weapon and their strength. That doesn't have anything to do with their collective belief stuff. We're also talking about a power weapon that uses a disruptor field that severs the bonds between molecules and its tech the orcs themselves are familiar with, i.e., power claws. Can't sever molecules if I don't believe they exist.
but
And this
I'm
moves
not
in to
sure
start
that he
getting into
knows.
games.
I mean, we have to also talk about the fact that they don't know everything. So
They don't know everything.
they can't think about, oh, I believe this, I believe they're not that smart. They don't believe
Yeah,
like non-stop
they
thinking about what they should and should not believe in so they can get an upper hand. That's why
they
it's
have no idea what a molecule is to begin with.
I mean, they probably don't. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not that smart to think like constantly like Action Man, the superhero. Like, what is happening now, and what should I do? Let's make all of these calculations
No,
now.
no, they,
You
they
know.
just barge into battle.
So I think
Yeah.
World Master is more correct that it takes the collective belief and not just one orc just making shit up because by that logic they will win every battle.
battle,
Every
indeed.
orc is going to be a winner. Yes, Tsunami.
If you scroll down past the meme, War Master's response here, I think this is the most prescient one for this argument.
Okay.
Because it goes to Eldritch Horror. I'm pretty sure there's been fluff that says orcs can lose half their head and keep fighting. This is the important part. War Master then says, there is, yes, but where the sword point is hitting the back of his throat is where his spine is. Severing that is instant paralysis at a minimum. So, I mean, I can keep going if you want to, but I think that's the most prescient thing here. Sure, they
Yes.
can lose half their head. They can have their heads bashed in, but their entire body, for the most part, is still somewhat working. But once you knock out that nerve connection there, like brain can still be there or not halfway be there. They can believe whatever they want to, but it doesn't mean that the neurons are going to go to the rest of their body.
Yeah.
So, uh, again, I'm a fucking Warhammer casual before anyone wants to come and like at me. That's just the way it works in my brain. If there's a different way of going about that, I'd love to hear the argument because I think it's a fun argument.
Well,
But there is a good comment over here.
yes, this one. by Adrich Horror. You're working under the assumption orc fungal biology works the same way as human biology. If you can sever an orc head and stick it in a robot body, then it's safe to say orc nervous system don't work the same way as human ones. I mean, that also makes sense, but
It
still they do
makes sense,
die
but
in the
they
same manner that humans
they
do.
do die, and also is it said somewhere in the lore how exactly their physiology work then? Because we can't start imagining. Well, I think that the biology works. Is it said somewhere?
Mm.
Does it show that they have different biology?
Well, when you think about the power sword, because we know about the
Mm.
power sword, how it works, it went through his throat technically, and then the energy from the sword is frying his brain, even if it's not through the brain. If even if the sword is not in the brain, it's below the brain,
Yeah.
and it's frying the brain from beneath it, like for sure.
Exactly.
It's causing immediate brain damage by every single second. So that's one thing. That's one thing for sure.
And that's why they should have the power swords, because they're not enhanced, they're not as powerful as the Astartes. So that weapon should give them an edge against orcs and kill them faster.
Okay, then how the orcs how the orcs die? I mean, look at what it says here. Can you read what Skycling posted?
It looks like counterpoint. It only gores the orc's brain. In the Warhammer 40k universe, it is entirely within character for orcs to continue fighting even after being decapitated. That is due to their unique, highly resilient physiology, which is a mix of fungus and animal, and their intense, innate drive for violence. Here is why orcs keep attacking after losing their head. Fungal biology and resilience. Orcs are a bioengineered fungal species. Their nerves are less sensitive, and they can survive injuries that would instantly kill a human. They have been known to walk off wounds that would be fatal. In some cases, they can be reassembled like Lego pieces. Decapitation survivability. While destroying the brain is the best way to kill an orc, some lore indicates they can keep fighting due to their incredibly tough bodies and lower sensitivity to pain.
Okay, then I have a point.
Yeah. So that settles the thing that their biology works different, but again, it settles the thing as you said, because his brain is fried.
Yes, so exactly, we're back to my point. If the brain is damaged, maybe he wouldn't be able to do this. If the head is severed, but it's
the brain still
intact,
works,
but
yeah.
it's intact, that's different, I guess.
Yeah.
But here we have a damaged brain for sure. Like
For sure.
I mean, the light was going through his freaking eyes. That's what was happening. Let me just play this again. And to them, you can talk in the meantime. I'm just gonna play it.
Sure, I mean, I'm honestly undecided on this one. It's like they're making good points. I think it's a fun argument to have. And
Oh, yes.
if people don't resort to being like, "Yeah, I hope you die," or something weird like that, and just be like talk the science through, it's fine. The one thing that I've got an issue with here, again, it's the same thing I always say. Well, again, Warhammer Casual here. When you change the lore constantly and you go from edition to edition and the game continuously changes, it's hard to nail down what's the exact right answer here. And sometimes it feels like in this world they could change things to make it work for them in that moment. Like it's the whole MacGuffin where a thing happens, or it's plot armor basically.
Yes, plot armor is a very good way to describe it. But again, this is, I'm going back to my point that this is standard Hollywood stuff, like literally. Just in Warhammer, I don't agree with it. I think that we should go past the point where everything is super convenient for the writers and they do not actually go by the rules of the universe, especially when you do something, when you put something on screen like Henrik I was trying to do now with Warhammer. You have to have established set of what works and how, and keep faithful to that, because this is the fabric of that universe. If you do things how you would in any other universe where all of those things don't work the same way, like for example, again, if we see a regular sword fight, one weapon will block another weapon, just like here, and they're literally going by that instead of going by Warhammer lore, logic, and principles. I don't think that should happen. I'm saying it's a regular thing that's kind of been normalized for years, for decades. It shouldn't be, though. I mean, we should be more intelligent than this. I mean, they shouldn't insult our intelligence, basically, because we're dealing with specific universes. This is the same thing as what if freaking Star Wars, you see a lightsaber fight and the lightsaber gets blocked by again a regular weapon. It's the same
Be right
thing.
back.
What?
Be right back.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, which happened in Soul Calibur 4 when the Star Wars characters were guest characters, and I always wondered, but how? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can't block a
Doesn't make sense.
lightsaber with
You can't,
regular
yeah.
sword. It's pretty much a super thick energy that goes through everything. It cuts thick metal doors that are so thick that they're basically like 50, 60 centimeters of thickness. And
Not
you
to
can cut the
mention-
door open.
Not to mention that Jedi's have a bit of enhanced powers than normal humans. That's why only they can wield actually a lightsaber
So-
with ease. You know, I mean, a regular human can pick it up and kind of use it, but it won't be in the same way. That's one of the things that actually kind of disturbed me in episode 7 when I think that John Boyega picked it up and I say, you can't use it in the same way.
Well, I don't
It's
think he
not
did.
forceful. Didn't he do or something like that?
Well, he can press the button, I guess.
Yeah, still.
So yeah, these things are like super important. Otherwise, the swords are not special, the weapons are not special. The universe is losing it's an identity. That's what I mean.
Yeah, if they done it for the Hollywood thingy that they thought it would be more dramatic if he blocks and if she has to struggle to cut through his head and things like that, but isn't it better if you actually use the rules of your universe and she just cuts through his? It's going to be a badass scene, is what I'm saying.
It would have been a lot more badass if that happened.
Right?
That's what I was saying. If they would have shown her cut through his weapon,
Exactly.
it goes into his shoulder, and then he just grabs her and starts choking her, or like pounding the shit out of her face, and just showing the like raw power of it. That would have been better, I think. Her stabbing him, even with this argument, the more that I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, okay, I see where you guys are coming from. It's the precision when he's on the ground, after he's already been on the ground for kind of like a second or two, and he reaches down, grabs his knife, and then stabs her repeatedly with seemingly perfect precision. I think they could have shown it more like he would have gotten one off, or he's very wildly still swinging because his brain's not there anymore. I don't know. I think they could have shown this a little bit better and still gotten the same point across if they wanted to.
Yeah, also, how does he see her at all?
Yeah, no idea.
I mean, he would maybe be disorientated
That's
at
why it
least.
should have been like that.
Where exactly is her waistline? Because first, her waistline is very small. She looks great.
She's on top of him, so that like at that I could make an argument even against that. Like I play devil's advocate. She's on top of him. She's not exactly that far away. Him aiming, that might be a thing.
Yeah, that's
Him
what I
stabbing
mean.
that many times, that's the thing that I'm like, what? How is he just repeatedly stabbing? Is this armor even doing anything? Like, what is she wearing it for? You might as well walk around in a bikini.
Yeah. The only excuse here could be that they're super strong, but again, he totally knows where her body is. If he can still feel his legs, and I mean, if
Well,
his
then,
nervous system is not damaged, so let's say that he feels the rest of his body. I mean, that's also an argument. If the brain is damaged and fried, and being frightened is very second, how is he feeling his limbs so he can stab her at all?
So, involuntary reactions, that's what I was getting at. If he'd have stabbed like once or twice and he's just stabbing forwards and she just simply moved to the side and he's no longer stabbing her because he can't see, he's just doing things out of involuntary reaction, I think it would have come across a lot cooler. But instead, I don't know. I think the animation looks great. I'm really excited. I'd like to see where this goes. I think they have a great point here. Both the people that are arguing, and I think they have some pretty decent arguments against it also.
Yes.
Personally.
Oh no, I mean, I agree. From one hand, you have, well, if you're a creator, you will have to follow some kind of a Hollywood thing because it's Hollywood or whatever. They already do that for ages, so people will not be that pissed or whatever is their logic to do this. On the other hand, shouldn't we like getting better and not worse?
Well, exactly. I mean, if you can show how her power sword cuts through his weapon and just then decapitates him, that would have been badass. Isn't this what we want to see from that universe? Things that actually happen, they're not applying to the real Hollywood rules.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to do that. I mean,
Okay, so people are explaining stuff here. If you look at the way the orc touches the sword when it goes in his head, you can tell they think that the power field is some kind of electricity, uh, yeah, enhancement. Yeah, basically, that's how it looks like. Okay, let's go to the what Chainsword said. I sent that to you, and where did I put it? I think I unintentionally closed it. Okay, hold on. Here it is. So Chainsword says, I'm not going to argue with that because he is right. Also, sometimes I feel that the current writers get their lore from memes and wikis, considering how often they fail so badly. Of course, some experts will tell you it's because of the WA field, even though it doesn't work that way. Once again, people think memes equals lore. Well, again, this just to me is the Hollywood thing.
yeah.
That is what the reason is. Tsunami, you can read the answers for this post if you like, starting from Mobius Bacon.
Mobius Bacon says, "Yeah, this stupid meme pretty much single-handedly distorted orc lore to the point where it's no longer funny." Alexius says, "Well, I do agree. Modern 40K animations are usually hilariously flanderized trash. Orc Choppos were able to smash through Astartes' power armor in the original Dawn of War into an intro animation, so it's not a new thing that people making animations think power armor is paper thin." Steven says, "It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if the idiots behind that Sisters of Battle episode looked like a wiki page of power weapons and saw Thunder Hammer and Lightning Claws and decided it must be some electric weapon." And that's it.
Again, probably not.
Yeah, probably.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's the thing. I might talk to War Master though. He knows me, so maybe we can think of something in the future. He seems very knowledgeable. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's see something else. The sword did fine. You can plainly see it goes straight out the back of the orc skull. Almost through it. I mean, it was shining there, so it was definitely true to a point. The thing you're mistaken is thinking an orc needs his brain to keep fighting. Yeah, like it's dead sure, but should have struck and made the distance, not staying within the depth. Blah blah blah. Okay. So guys, definitely tell us what you think about this
Absolutely.
in the
Yeah.
comments.
Interesting
It's an interesting topic, but again, we have seen enough in our lives in terms of movies to know that this is something very regular, that it will happen, unfortunately. And it's kind of been a thing for years.
Indeed.
Like, I even remember the last time I was very pissed about something like this was when watching the series about Tutankhamun, like the latest ones that are made into a movie, but like a few parts movie. And he had an armor and everything, but he shown how he stabbed, and the armor was basically treated like paper. Like, what are you doing?
It's just there to look beautiful.
What are you doing? The same thing with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has an amazing scene when one guy is fighting young Ned Stark, somewhere. And I think actually I posted that on Twitter a few days. It's a great scene. But again, the guy who's fighting the other guys, he's just stabbing them left and right. Like there's no armor at all. And that's just not how it's gonna happen. So this is not the first time, not gonna be the second time. But they gotta get things straight because otherwise it just doesn't make sense, especially when we have universe like Warhammer 40K, which we do actually have enough information about how everything functions to a very painful detail. So you can't just ignore those things. To some point, you gotta say, no, we gotta be faithful because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we even bringing Warhammer to life when we're not going to keep those things true?
I mean, also it said that not only, by the way, the power field, but the sword is supposed to be made from adamantium.
Also that.
How does a normal axe is going to stop it?
I mean, the orcs don't actually have the best materials ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tsunami, we can move on to the next topic for sure. Let's see.
Avengers.
What?
Avengers.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're
Okay.
done, guys. We're done with Warhammer. We are now starting to cover the superhero news. So we have Avengers Doomsday plot leak breakdown. All your biggest questions about the movie answered, maybe some of our biggest fears as well. I, of course, take this with a grain of salt. We cannot confirm that this is true, so we'll see. Kind of makes sense though. But tonight, please read and then we're gonna discuss.
And coming in from Comic Book Movie, Avengers Doomsday Plot Leak Breakdown. All your biggest questions about the movie answered. Spoilers. Spoilers. If you don't want to know. Yeah, anyways. A full Avengers Doomsday Plot leak has surfaced, and we're now breaking down all of its biggest reveals to bring you a definitive guide to what to expect from the upcoming movie. Yes, the plot of Avengers Doomsday really has leaked online in full. With reshoots planned, we can expect some changes, and as always, there's likely a fair bit that's been lost in translation as it's been passed from one person to the next. However, we've done some digging and have verified with at least two trustworthy sources that what you're about to read below is the real deal. The plot of Avengers Doomsday is detailed from start to finish. While there are one or two points that are a little fuzzy, all signs point to the Russo brothers delivering a suitably epic movie that, alongside Avengers Secret Wars, will wrap up the multiverse saga in style. Needless to say, major spoilers follow from this point on. To learn more about what's to come in Avengers Doomsday, click the next. Yep, got it. Movie's opening scene. Avengers Doomsday begins in the reality that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man calls home. He's in the midst of a battle with Deadpool and Wolverine, who would have been sent there by Beast with a device capable of destroying this world, similar to how the TVA would prune timelines. Wolverine manages to set the device and stays behind, perishing alongside the web slinger. Deadpool, meanwhile, returns to his world while we see Professor X watching on with sadness as another planet falls. However, the X-Men had no choice, as similar to what we saw in Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers run, which led directly into Secret Wars. You either save one reality or allow both to be destroyed in the incursion. Steve Rogers returns. The movie takes us back to Tony Stark's funeral in Avengers Endgame and follows Steve Rogers into the past, where he chooses to build a life with Peggy Carter. They have a son, Jim, and receive a visit from Loki before the Loki season 2 finale, apparently, though we're not sure how this retcon fits into the Disney Plus series just yet. Loki warns Steve about the TVA's plans to prune his new timeline and offers to move them to a world where they could safely hide because they don't exist. Earth 828, the home of the Fantastic Four. Loki leaves the former Captain America with the card he can use to contact him, and he, Peggy, and Jim spend a happy 10 years there together. The Fantastic Four First Steps. The post-credit scene is expanded on, and Doctor Doom tells Mr. Fantastic about the incursion and the fact that their universe is next. They figure out that someone is living in their reality who shouldn't be there, and visit Steve, who agrees to join them on a trip to Earth 616, where he successfully convinces his world's heroes to help Doom enact his plan. Avengers vs. X-Men. The Avengers vs. X-Men battle is a smaller part of the movie that you might expect, and the fight ensues when Earth's 616's mightiest heroes arrive seeking help. Though it's not specified in the leak, we'd assume they're there to learn more about Beast's device. The mutant team has survived multiple incursions and are understandably hostile. Later, we learn that Doctor Doom and Reed Richards have a plan to build massive cannons on the remaining Earths, which will separate these parallel realities and end their incursions. They'll have to split into teams and visit different worlds to place them there. Meanwhile, Steve, now reunited with Thor, tells him he met a Loki who is still alive and agrees to take the God of Thunder to his brother in the TVA, which they locate with the card mentioned above. Doctor Doom's plan revealed. When Steve and Thor get there, they find that everyone is dead and Loki has had his heart ripped out. Figuring out that Doctor Doom is responsible, Steve confronts him and learns the villain's true plan: to allow the incursions to happen so he can rebuild the universe in his own image and resurrect his dead family. Things get a little vague here, but Doom takes Steve to his castle in Latveria and introduces his masked followers, one of whom is supposedly impersonating Peggy to manipulate Cap. His presence on Earth 828 is what caused the impending incursion in their reality, prompting Doom to conduct dangerous experiments that eventually went horribly wrong, killing his wife and child and leaving him disfigured. That's why he's now trapped in his armor and mask, and to make Steve pay, he kills Jim in front of him. As of now, we don't know whether Victor clashed with the Fantastic Four before or after this incident. My Time to Shine Hello says, I can now reveal that the photo they shared is the set where they shot a scene with Doom and his family in a lab during an experiment that kills them and damages his body. Russo brothers shared a photo from the next set of Avengers. Doomsday, look hard. What do you think it means? Moving on, final battle in Latveria. It seems Thor has told his fellow heroes about Doom's true nature, as the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men arrive in Latveria ready to fight. The God of Thunder prays to Odin, who sends an army from Valhalla to join the battle, and war ensues as the final incursion begins. There's no stopping that, and everything is destroyed apart from Doom. When he stole Loki's heart, he stole his powers, and now uses them to create Battleworld. Resurrecting the fallen, Doom erases their memories and makes it so they only remember this new reality, where they have new lives in this false reality. With that, Doom sits on his throne as the God Emperor of Battleworld. We still have some unanswered questions. There are some plot holes. Did Doom killing Loki start the incursions? And if he'd already stolen those powers, why did he need to formulate that plan with the Fantastic Four and team up with other heroes? Was he just distracting them in a bid to stop them from preventing the final incursion? We'll have to wait and see for now. However, we can tell you there's no link between Doom and Iron Man, and perhaps unsurprisingly, no mention of Kang. We've also learned that Doom's villainous turn occurs during the fight between the Avengers and the X-Men. So there are some key details missing from this initial leak. End article.
Wow, I'm so confused.
Wow. Wow.
I'm very confused, George.
Yeah.
Did you follow the whole thing? I kind of lost it
They're
in some moments.
so it's based off. Okay, it has nothing to do with the classical 1980 or something. I forget Secret Wars comic.
Secret Wars.
Which
Yep,
is
you're right.
Secret Wars, which is the better one. It has all to do with the new one from 2000 something that was written by Jonathan Hickman. Jesus Christ.
Why do they
Jonathan
always
Hickman.
speak like new stuff that nobody cares about, nobody knows, nobody grew up with?
My question indeed. Also, Jonathan Hickman is the man who ruined X-Men in comic books. But anyway,
Great.
he's the one who wrote that, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey were a trouble.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah. You could see actually there was an interview and a photo with him and his assistant writer,
Uh-huh.
who was black with a weird hair, and on her laptop she opened proudly her laptop, and on the back of the laptop there were stickers with rainbows and says queer and proud and stuff like that. Whatever.
F it.
Whatever. Yes. So Jonathan Hickman. Yeah, indeed. Now, Jesus Christ. Okay. So they also
Where
use,
to begin? Like,
they all, first of all, why the hell we have Doctor Doom if it's not going to be Doctor Doom at all? So again, we make this kind of sympathetic, because of what happened in his world now, his wife and the children are dead, so it's actually he's misunderstood. Get the hell out of here! Can we just have the villain? Can it just be Doctor Doom? Being Doctor Doom, evil, want to conquer, and nothing is going to stop him. They kind of did the thing with, okay, he has to experiment now, and the machine blows and everybody dies.
I didn't understand. Did he cause this himself because they said experiment
They
happened?
said that it's gone wrong, but was it because of the incursion, or he didn't know what he was doing exactly? Because in the comic book, he's doing that experiment to actually open a portal to kind of like hell, to get the soul of his dead mother from Mephisto.
Oh my god.
Then that goes wrong and explodes. Reed Richards is telling him, Victor, what you're doing that is dangerous. It's going to go wrong, but he doesn't listen.
Of course.
And that's why he gets disfigured and all the things. So they're trying to do that angle, but again with a misunderstanding thing.
So, you know what I'm thinking is gonna happen? That, okay, he's doing the experiment, right?
Yeah.
Steve is doing his own thing. He goes back to live his life. And
that causes the explosion.
It seems like...
That's correct.
It seems like that causes the explosion. But at the end of the movie, it's going to be revealed that Dr. Doom has always been destined to ruin his own experiment, no matter what Steve does or doesn't do. So his whole outburst and evil things that he did is pointed at him. So that way Steve is not to blame.
I hope so, because I don't want Steve to get the blame for all that. Because otherwise, why did we do that ending?
Because then they're gonna send a message that having a happy ending and being happy is not possible for any of the heroes.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
going to be a very bad message to send, that Steve just cannot have his life.
Yeah.
But in this way, Doctor Doom will be exposed as an evil guy that's also kind of incompetent.
I mean,
Yeah.
in comic books, the thing is that he's pretty much arrogant about his knowledge, and that's why he said, "No, my experiment will work. Reed, you're dumber
Yeah,
than
because
me."
of his arrogance,
Arrogance.
which is going to point out to his villainy
Yeah.
and lack of, well, lack of maturity.
But I'm missing the connection between him and Reed. Now, if he had some kind of dealings with this Fantastic Four before, so that actually we see how they play off with Reed and Doom with each other, 'cause that makes no sense. Also, okay, if he's disfigured as he should be, why the
do we
hell do we
need
have
Robert
Robert
Downey
Downey Jr.? Jesus Christ! Oh, what are we doing, people? Just get a new guy, make him famous by this is the guy who played Doctor Doom. It's actually not the first live action version, but it could have been the best. Although I like Julian McMahon's version, in the old Fantastic Four movies, but that was a different Doom again. So, not that we're getting Doom here anyway; it's again different guy. But I think that this is because it doesn't seem that in the movie they will be confused. Why does he look like Tony? And they will think, but maybe because he looks like Tony, he's a good guy. If they can't actually see his face,
Yeah, now we don't see his face. He just kind of sounds like
he just
Tony.
kind of sounds like Tony.
Probably if they don't change his voice. You remember that previous actor that played Doctor Doom? They changed his voice when he was under the mask.
Yeah.
Logically, God
Yeah,
rest his
logically,
soul.
yes.
By the way,
Mhm.
he was a great guy,
Yeah.
great actor.
Julian McMahon, yeah.
Yeah.
And I lost my thought now. Oh yeah. If that's the case, then they take Robert Downey just to tell us here Robert Downey Jr. is back.
Yeah.
And I say, but who cares?
Yeah, he's also too small. I mean, physically. He
yeah.
never trains. He never cares. He's too old.
No, he's too old also for that. I mean, cast a younger guy. Say this is our new Doctor Doom here. This is our new version. It seems like they try to tickle your nostalgia again, and he's back in a different role. But he's back.
So we can go to the movies, because otherwise we wouldn't. Okay, tonight please tell me what you think until Logan can gather himself a bit.
I really think Vic hit on it. I mean, you were talking as you were describing the plot like 5 seconds ago, Empress. You're like, no way would this happen. And I'm like, in my brain, the entire time I was saying, yeah, they would. That's exactly why they would do it. Yep. And I think Vic really hit on it, saying it's all Captain America's fault, because as far as these modern day creators are concerned, it's always American at fault, and Cap represents America. I think they're going to go ahead and use Cap finally going back in time to be the H.G. Wells type moment. The whole going back in time, you fucked up everything. Doom's going to go ahead and take his anger out on Cap, and everyone's going to go ahead and realize that Captain America was the key to making all this start to go down. And that's how they're going to go ahead and start to pitch it. I mean, the Battle World thing did happen. Secret Wars did happen, just not like this at all. Yeah. And I think they're going to go ahead and shit on all the existing characters, bring them back for one last heroic hoorah. I'm sure that, like I had already on this channel, had mentioned, Spider-Man and Doc Ock are supposed to be fighting together. Tobey Maguire's. As per spoilers, they're supposed to die. They were fighting Logan and Deadpool, and it's just going to be confusing the shit out of the audience. And they're going to really try and give that sense of Infinity War Doom again. I'm sorry, I'll use the word dread instead of Doom so not to confuse people. They want that dread to be prevalent out there, like everything's gone to shit, everything's so bad. And then they'll try and fix everything in Battle World. But I believe that the progenitor, the genesis of this whole thing is going to be Captain America. And Captain America going back. And when Captain America tried to go ahead and just have a normal life after serving for forever, they're going to shit all over him. And that's going to be the reason why all the other rest of the multiverse got fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with that, and I am agreeing with that. I was just hoping that I can see the twist also coming, that at the end of the day, Dr. Doom is
Doom
actually to be blamed, and what Steve did was never the reason that actually his experiments failed. But that is how it's gonna look like throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And at the
Yeah,
end, it's gonna be
Also-
revealed that Doctor Doom is actually to be blamed.
Also, that kind of sounds
That would be
like
better. I'm just saying.
that plan kind of sounds like the plan of Kingpin in Into the Spider-Verse when he was trying to open different
Right.
verses so that he can find his dead wife and son.
Yeah, they
that
wanted
was
to
there.
make it relatable.
Yeah,
They want to make it
him
relatable. The bad guy
exactly.
needs to be relatable, and then we're back to this fucking whole deconstruction nonsense and breaking everything down. They want us to
Yeah.
question all of our heroes until the end.
I was
Exactly.
hoping they learned by now to not do
No,
this.
they will never give us the villain that we deserve. I mean, isn't he relatable? Can't you see the bad thing in Doctor Doom by being extremely arrogant? Can't you learn from that? That's what's supposed to a villain to do, to teach you. Look what happens because of my arrogance. And he kept blaming Reed for his failed experiment in the comic book. He said, Victor, I warned you. He said, no, it was you who sabotaged me and things like that. And say, well, Jesus Christ, what are you talking about? The man tried to help you. And it's that arrogance that, oh, it's no, I'm smarter. Oh, Reed, you know just science, but I know and magic. And then the magic fails because he's
Yeah.
not that good in it. I mean, he is good, but he ain't no Doctor Strange. And they do the same thing here. Now it's going to be that. And
Are they
okay,
seriously going to sell me on Pedro Pascal is going to pass this off? I can't. Like every time I think about that, like the battle of these two like incredible intellects, but it's Pedro Pascal. Are you fucking kidding me? I can't believe it.
Well,
Like,
I
no,
mean,
I
yeah.
can't.
He's
No.
very believable in the role,
He
though.
was good in the law.
Yeah.
Still.
No.
But you
Nope.
know what puzzles me here first is there is no mention of the other guys.
The other guy.
And the other guys, you know, like we mentioned X-Men, then the Avengers. Why the hell is Shang-Chi and all those B-level guys? Weren't they supposed to be here?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
general.
Yes.
So
I
what
think they're
happens
just
with
going to
them?
go ahead. They talk about going world to world. Like they said, Wolverine's going world to world, set off bombs or whatever else. So I
Also,
think they're going to do kind of a quicker montage of them going world to world, and they're trying to build up and showing how it goes across all like many different dimensions, and they'll show different heroes from that time period. I don't think that they're going to be very prevalent or important in the grand scheme of things,
yeah.
especially like Fox X-Men. Other than like Wolverine, like who else is in shape other than Cyclops, which I'm hyped for,
Oh,
and I
yes.
hope to
Yeah.
make them more cool. But
Yeah,
I'm feeling like it's going to be like a 5-minute segment.
Yeah,
for
me
each.
too.
something
me
like
too.
that, and they advertise it as, you know, Avengers versus X-Men, which is a big comic book from 2000 something that they had that big fight, and they say we are not getting that. Apparently, we could have a different movie, but we're going to get 5 to 10 minutes of that battle.
This
I'm
is what they did with the. I'm sorry, keep going.
I'm kind of okay with Wolverine not taking a central stage, and you know, apparently he'll die and things like that. Okay, so that Cyclops and the others can shine. Good, I'm okay with that. They
For
deserve
2
it.
seconds,
They
probably.
deserve for 2 seconds, probably. Kelsey Grammer, who is supposed to be Beast again, is going to be CGI. Probably okay, nice.
There's
Good.
some things that I need to get out just to you know give
Before
you
that,
material to talk about,
before
guys.
that, I wanted to say about Steve again. Okay, so apparently he cannot have his happiness according to that, but why then we do this ending in Endgame? And we know why. They shove him aside so that the other guy can become Captain America.
How about him? Where
even
is
Bucky.
he?
And now, yeah, where is he? And now we were going to mess up Steve then.
Yes, totally.
So I really hope that we have the twist that you're saying, so that Steve is again the character he should be. He does deserve the happiness. If you're going to give the happiness, let him be.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this twist will fix everything.
Yeah,
But
I hope.
I have a few questions, like why would anybody listen to Doctor Doom? So they can rally
Indeed.
behind him.
Indeed.
They will literally go by what they're saying. But sorry, they will all listen to him and they will destroy their worlds. They will not fight him. They will just listen and they will go against each other and destroy their worlds. Like, what the heck, man?
Well, from what we
That's how it sounds.
read here, it sounds as if he knows what he's talking about, and that's the first time they met him,
But
and
why
he
would
knows
they?
what he's talking
Exactly,
about.
first time. Why would they listen to this guy?
Nah, well,
They're not smart enough? Like, what?
well,
There's
no,
so
I
many
mean,
people.
well, we have the smartest man on earth there, Reed Richards.
There's so many like people there. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Okay,
That's what's
Tsunami,
going to
please.
happen. That's how they're going to trick it. They're going to use Reed Richards to talk everyone else into it.
Oh,
Which would
nice.
it's gonna make him an idiot.
That makes sense. Okay, so
Great.
Because he
both
got
Reed
manipulated.
Richards and Professor X actually are listening to this random guy that appears for the first time, fully disfigured with a mask on and things like that.
And Professor X cannot go into his
And-
head and tell what he's really like.
He basically tries not to do it if he doesn't have the incentive to. But I think that's a good incentive to know. Okay,
that's a
so
great
it's,
one.
It's a big threat. This guy just appears and there was this and this. Okay, the hell with your models. Just read his mind.
I mean, billions
Read
of
his mind.
people, someone, worlds.
Your
thing.
team is dying too. Your team is dying too. You don't want to destroy the. Read his freaking
You
mind. and,
cannot
you know.
have trust when it comes
No,
to the
no,
lives of countless amounts of people,
Mm-hmm.
worlds. Like, what are we talking about? You have to check this person, scan the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Like, are you
Indeed,
kidding
indeed.
me? So if this is not done in some kind of a way that makes sense, I'm gonna be besides myself.
Yeah, no,
can't just listen to a guy.
I really need the twist that you said now that you said it, that would fix the whole movie because Cap deserved it. He's the only Cap. I'm not going to call the other guy a Cap. He's just Sam Wilson or whatever.
And then it's
you know?
gonna point the finger
So-
towards Doctor
Or
Doom.
at least, in the end, give him still the happy ending, and for goodness sake, make Bucky Captain America.
At
Th-
least.
This is
At
the
least.
MacGuffin that I was talking about. When you have a multiverse, what's to say that Doctor Doom, who's traveling dimension to dimension, didn't find Magneto, create the same helmet that Magneto has, incorporate that into the technology for his mask and what he's wearing, and then Professor X can't read his thoughts. They just have to take his word for it, and then he shows them proof. This is going on. You guys are seeing aspects of this in your own timeline. You can either believe me or not. And God, I
would
wish
decide not.
they could do a lot more with this. And I feel like what they're trying to do is Batman v Superman. They're trying to take multiple comics books, mash them all in a fucking one movie, try and make it make sense, and it's going to be a blended piece of shit.
Yeah.
At least that's my first impression.
Because they originally didn't have that plan. They originally really wanted Steve to stay in the past being happy, but then all their other projects with those freaking C-level characters that nobody cares about failed, and that's why now they decide to pull a thing out of the asses and make it epic. And let's bring back Steve. What can we do? Well, he kind of went in time, so maybe he messes things up because we can't leave that in peace, and so now we're trying to do a thing. I mean, because it really wasn't the original plan.
I mean, to me, this sucks monkey balls. Like the whole thing, final assessment, because we gotta move on.
Yeah.
Final assessment, I think this sucks monkey balls, and it's really convoluted and it's really messy. We're gonna lose some heroes just for the sake of nostalgia. They're just gonna kill them all because they don't know what to do with them. This is super lazy to me from that point of view. I mean, we like Tobey Maguire, so we're gonna kill him. So we are
Let's
all
kill him.
emotionally
Sure.
invested. We like we have to be done with this guy, and
Yeah.
the same with Hugh Jackman. So we're gonna kill this Wolverine now in this manner and whatever.
Yeah, it's like forget. Although Hugh Jackman said recent week that he ain't done playing Wolverine, and he said, okay,
And he's gonna appear here, sure.
and no, even after that, he said that he's
Oh.
not done. But okay,
Yeah, okay.
but we're killing exactly Tobey Maguire because, as you said, everybody is emotionally invested in that, and it's like a way of saying he's dead, except Tom Holland now, and they say, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Holland is perfect for Ben 10, by the way.
Ooh, that's a great one. Yes,
At the-
make it happen. Make it happen.
There's literally an AI trailer with him. With
Really?
Ben, yeah, and
Nice.
it looks like spot on.
And make it happen.
So-
If there was ever a casting that he's good for, actually.
Yeah, he's Ben 10, he's not Spider.
Nice. Yeah.
So Tsunami, finishing thoughts on this topic before we move on.
No, I think we hit everything.
Mm.
Alright.
Okay, definitely sucks monkey balls. Yes, Nate. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let us know what you think in the chat. It's a complex topic. So let's go to. Oh, damn it. Okay. So now a DC thing. now a DC. We had Marvel,
Yeah.
now a DC. So again, after we found out that Paramount now is going to own Warner Brothers, and Netflix literally said, no, not for us. We cannot continue this anymore. So they bailed. We are now, of course, having circling rumors about Zack Snyder, and there's many like conflicting stories, basically that there's no definitive thing. Of course, there's no definitive thing. The transition between the two companies is going to take up to a year, and then we can start talking about stuff if there's any rumors by that point. Zack had a recent interview. He had a birthday. He said some good things about
Yeah.
James Gunn's Superman because he has to be polite and all those Hollywood crap things that you gotta pretend. And
Yeah,
it
we
was
would do as that
obvious
too.
because I mean we would actually watch that interview. It's about an hour long. It's very long.
Mm.
So me and Logan considering that, we'll see. The point is that although he did say that he likes what James Gunn have done, he also then said something very telling that basically if they were to make Batman v Superman, basically Batman and Superman being light and funnier and just lighter in general, it's not going to be Batman v Superman, it's going to be Batman and Superman.
Also,
And-
that nobody would care.
and nobody would care,
Yeah.
which was super strong thing to say. So basically, he's crapping on this whole vision, this whole style of vision that Zack Snyder has, while also saying that he likes it.
Yeah.
To me, that is that is basically Zack trying to say his real opinion
Yeah.
and not saying it.
I mean, was he extremely diplomatic? Yes, he was, but don't forget in those interviews you have to be like that. You can't say, well, F of James Gunn and his vision,
or
I
at
don't-
least I don't like this type because I
Yeah.
have my type.
You have to be diplomatic with it, and I think it's the fault of the interviewer because he's asking a question like that. That's not a professional question. That's a fan question.
Yeah.
You can't ask the creator fan questions like that. You have to be professional. You know what answer you're going to get. You're going to get a diplomatical answer. You're not going to get sure I hate it and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah, you
Michael
can't say
Usman
that.
did tell us in the beginning off stream before the interview. He did tell us I cannot comment
Future things.
the future things. That's why we didn't ask him. Well, what do you think about James Gunn's Superman? We know what answer he's going to give us.
We know.
It's
yeah.
really not professional. I had a friend who told me, why didn't you tell him? Well, let's hope that you're not going to grab the new Superman. I say, man, how is that professional? I can't ask him that.
Yeah, we can have the conversation here.
That's a fan question that you ask on a Comic Con that you meet him and he'll give you some type of an answer.
Yeah, you can't put him. You can't put
You
him in
know,
that position.
You can't put him in that position.
He will never want to
exactly.
talk to us again.
Yeah.
as well.
So I think it's the fault of the interviewer there that it was kind of like a trap for Zack, and he had to walk away somehow.
We
And,
can't just
you
say
know,
what we think.
No.
Directly, because otherwise I could put him in a lot of other positions that I didn't want to. I
Indeed.
didn't want to do that,
Yeah,
of
indeed.
course. The only thing that I was giving my objection towards was the logic that Superman was actually an immigrant, and I gave him very good argument. He laughed at
Exactly.
it, so it all went well,
Yeah,
at least.
exactly.
So that was smooth,
Mm-hmm.
but beyond anything like that, no, we can't do that. And,
Indeed.
and again, we know what answer that we're gonna be given. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not even, it doesn't even make sense to go there. So you always have to have some kind of a diplomacy and manners and tact. The tact is the word
Tact,
actually
yes.
when you do those things. So there you go. And they work in Hollywood, but I mean both Zack
Mm.
and James Gunn, they will never say anything directly so bad.
Yeah. You're closing a door like that.
You're closing a door, there's gonna be a scandal, the whole internet's gonna explode. You gotta be like super carefully what you say. So the fact that Zack did say that he wouldn't do Batman and Superman with the lighter tone and nobody would care, it's what you need to extract, like read
Also-
between the lines,
Also,
basically.
there is out there a lot of videos, and I think even the script is out there for first try back in the days for them to make a Batman versus Superman movie. Christ, guys, it's horrible. Be happy what we got actually. Just watch the videos about that movie that never happened, and the script or read the script. Be happy what we got because we got a way better thing.
Although all the complications of the studio and the fact that this is not supposed to be done in the first place.
Mm.
So when it comes to, I mean, when you take into account that this is not supposed to be happening,
Yeah.
we were supposed to have Man of Steel 2, then we got what we got. Was
Yeah.
better than what we could have gotten.
Indeed.
At least, like,
Indeed.
silver lining. I mean, we're happy. We're
No,
happy.
totally.
We're happy, but again, we could have had like a normal progression of the story in the universe
Absolutely.
as it should be, and this was premature. This was trying to get back at Marvel and catch up to them.
This is what happens
It was
when
not
you do
wise at
when you do
all. All
premature
those
stuff.
things. Yeah, premature stuff are not good.
No. Indeed.
fun.
Also, can you believe that this guy is 60 years old?
Yeah, he looks
Great
good.
on you, Zack. Indeed. Yeah.
Excuse me, Tsunami, for this. We had to put out this big thing
Yeah.
because we haven't covered that interview, and there's many things that are going on, like moving pieces.
No, really. As an interviewer ourselves, I was kind of annoyed by that guy. I was just thinking, how can you ask him that? And now all over the internet, oh, Zack Snyder said that he likes it, and he said, man, Jesus Christ, just
Read
it's the
between.
interviewer. It's
Yeah,
the interviewer.
and also read between the lines. He then said other things.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And that is how you as a director should carry yourself. You just have no choice.
Exactly.
That's how it's. So that's why we're not mad at Zack, because we understand. We get it. You gotta be smarter than this. You gotta have tact. You can't be just like opening your mouth and things coming out like
Yeah.
uncontrollably.
Otherwise-
Just like
Yeah.
somebody else is doing.
Exactly.
Who is James Gunn?
Who is
James Gunn?
yes, yeah.
Uh,
Or the woke people who are just, the actors who are opening their mouths left and right, and then we know
Yeah.
what happens. Or some directors even. I mean, remember the director of He-Man?
yeah.
know,
So
so,
he
yeah.
forgot to have tact.
He forgot stuff like
I mean, James Gunn also just opening his mouth and yapping about stuff all the time, but he also will never go directly and say that Zack's vision is wrong.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there are certain lines that he will also not cross. I don't think, at least not at the current moment.
Just to before we start, you cut this probably, but we have Team Blue line here who subbed at the 2 channels, as far as I see.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, Tsunami, again, apologies. We just had to get out all of that information. Please continue to read the article.
Okay. From Cosmic Book News, Zack Snyder gung ho on Dark Knight Returns and Justice League finale exclusive. Today is Zack Snyder's birthday, and the timing couldn't be more interesting. With Paramount now winning the Warner Brothers Discovery bid, our insiders now say Snyder is preparing for something even bigger. Snyder was born March 1st, 1966, which makes this a milestone birthday, and it lands right in the middle of his recent March-themed teases. Insiders, Snyder has both The Dark Knight Rises and Justice League mapped out. Per our insiders, Zack's gung-ho about Dark Knight Returns and the Justice League finale. He's had it mapped out and well prepared. The two heads of the Saudi investment companies are massive comic book fans and fans of his, and they want to go big with the properties. The key detail here is the quote-unquote both angle. The way it's being described to us now is that Snyder isn't choosing between finishing his Justice League story or doing a Frank Miller-style Dark Knight Returns movie. He's looking at a path that includes both. That's huge. Recap: why Saudi backing has been central to the story. We previously reported that Saudi-backed interests were positional as a major factor in a Snyderverse comeback, with our sources pointing to Snyder's existing relationships and the possibility of Christopher Nolan being involved as an executive producer if the right ownership and financing aligned. We also reported an insider update that the Saudis wanted the Snyderverse restored with Henry Cavill as Superman, and that Ben Affleck's Batman was described as quote-unquote possibly returning depending on how the pieces came together. We reported that the Saudi goal wasn't small. The idea, as described to us, was to rival Marvel with an event-level DC approach, which is why Snyder's social media activity ramped up while the sales process accelerated. Why Paramount winning WBD changes the temperature. Now that Paramount has effectively won the bidding battle for WBD, the power shift becomes real. That matters because the new leadership's priorities will drive what DC becomes next. Insiders continue to tell us that Snyder's brand of large-scale, mythic, event-rich storytelling is a perfect fit for Paramount's quote-unquote big, go big ownership mindset. And we've already been told that Paramount plans to go big, including huge G.I. Joe movies. How Snyder's recent teases and how Josh Horowitz fits in. Over the past few days, Snyder and his circle have kept the spotlight on his DCEU era. Snyder's posts have leaned into March as a defining month for him, and his sharing of Henry Cavill as Superman reignited quote-unquote rebirth talk among fans right as the WBD sales heated up. At the same time, Josh Horowitz has been using the Batman v Superman 10-year anniversary to put Snyder back in front of a large mainstream audience with a long-form conversation that included Snyder saying he'd, quote-unquote, never say that there's no way, end quote, about more Justice League in some form. What to watch for next? Nothing's been officially announced, but if our insiders are right, and they often are, the plan isn't a single one-off. Pitch is bigger, featuring a Dark Knight Returns style project and Justice League sequels, both backed by deep-pocketed comic book fans who want to swing for the fences to take on Disney and Marvel. With Paramount now in control of WBD, and Snyder turning up the volume in March, on his birthday month no less, it doesn't read like nostalgia, it reads like it's happening. End article.
Yes, well, we can again only hope
Yeah,
because
indeed.
things actually, I mean, it's very good. I mean, it seems that it's very good that Paramount won, something that people didn't think that was possible. We were hoping, we were discussing, it
Yeah.
actually happened. Netflix actually quit on this deal, so hopefully this is for the best. Although again, there's some concerning things about Paramount as well,
Well,
but it certainly looks a lot better than
I was
freaking
going
Netflix.
to say about that you know Paramount ruined Star Trek, but Adam Fisher in one of his videos said that actually those were different people controlling it before, so those projects had to went through anyway. But
Mhm.
the people that are now in head of Paramount would never let this happen. I hope it's true. You
Yeah.
know, so because really, but I really think that Paramount is the better option, and let's hope that we see that project in the only form we deserve, which should be a movie. You know, because Vic also said, I saw in the chat, and I think that he said that Zack Snyder said it in some form. Let it not be animation or comic book, please. We deserve movies for those things if we're going to see it. I mean, animation fine, but movie should be a movie. Really, nothing else is relevant for those things.
Also,
Yeah.
just want to say that Zack Snyder is Pisces, just like me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice.
He's my astrological sign. Very
Yeah.
creative person.
That's why he's creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's know what you think, guys, in the comments. And we are basically, it's almost 12 here, so we're gonna continue with the gaming news, and then that's it. So let's know what you think in the comments. Next, new God of War game rumored to dump Kratos for DEI. Like, this is exactly what we don't need. Exactly what we don't need at all. Well, God, we also got the news, and this is gonna be joint between the two, that God of War series begins production. First look at Ryan Hurst as Kratos revealed, and this picture took the internet by storm. And of course, I said, well, this guy is not ripped enough. I mean, he's
He
not big
forget
enough.
his muscles. Yeah.
He's not big enough. I mean, he looks okay, of course, but Kratos like such a huge muscular guy. This is like barely there. He's barely there. That's always what happens basically. This guy is too small, like too little. I don't know what that is.
He looks too little. Yeah, when I saw him, I said, well,
Yeah, too
what?
much of a little tiny boy. But okay.
Boy.
So again, first of all, when it comes to this, we would much rather see Kratos in his original setting, which is freaking Greece.
Freaking
He's the son
Greece.
of Zeus,
Yeah.
and that story is much more interesting than the Dad of War story.
Yeah.
The games are a lot more interesting and better. They defined the genre back when they were released. Now they're remaking them, and hopefully they're gonna stay true to the original games and what happened there, because there was some rumors that they're gonna remove some sex scenes, whatever. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it just be Kratos. He is not a very good guy. Just portray him as he is. That's Kratos for you. And coming from, going for that story, I just don't care as
Yeah,
much as the
it's
other
not
one.
as if the newer games are more relevant. People still remember the old, and some people still even play them. I had a student who was 11, a couple of years ago, and he said that he's a big fan and he played all of them, even the PSP version. Somehow he found out. Now, is he supposed to play that with being 11? No. He did anyway. Okay, and he said that he's a big fan and he likes the older games even more because I played the last one a bit, and most of the levels with Atreus, I kind of fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never fell asleep in the old games because they were great hack and slash action, which actually elevated the genre. Everything started with Devil May Cry, but God of War improve on the formula of hack and slash, how you do it even better. What is the next step we can do after Devil May Cry sets of the bar, and okay, how can we jump the bar? And this is how. And
Yeah.
here you go.
Okay, so this is by Amazon, whatever, whatever. We don't really care. I mean, we care, but it's not like until we see a trailer, and
Yeah.
this is by Amazon. We don't know who's the creative team behind it, and all those things. Are they woke? Are they not? We don't know. So we're just gonna hope for the best. Right now, this aesthetically looks just like those first moments of the first game.
Hmm.
So okay, aesthetically they got it. That doesn't mean that they're gonna get it in terms of characters and story. We'll see.
The-
Before we continue with this, with the actual story, because this is an afterthought.
Mhm.
What is Tsunami? What do you think, actually?
It's retarded. They should have just done the original story.
Yeah.
It shows that they lack absolute creative vision on their own, or like a creative narrative ability, I should say, more than anything else. Because the hack and slash games were lighter on story than the cinematics from the whole Dad of War thing. They think that they can get some wins with the emotional feels of Dad of War. Um, a big part of the reason why Dad of War was so good is because people had followed Kratos' story
Mhm.
from the beginning. It was really compelling to watch him go ahead. He essentially destroys not essentially, he does destroy the entire Greek pantheon. He's on the run. He ends up in the Norse land for whatever reason, and that's how the new
We
games
don't
start
know.
off
We really don't
We
without
really
know.
you
don't know it.
knowing
Mm.
like why is like who is Kratos? Why is he here? Why should I give a fuck about him? And they're starting off with this dad of boy like relationship that's going on, which was fine if you'd been someone that's been watching the story the entire time. The other thing, like, I agree with you guys in terms of physical fitness. This is a Spartan. He should not look like this at all. The whole dad bod thing. If they wanted to go ahead and have him look a little bit aged, they should have had the chest piece on him, which at least covers up his stomach. Like that whole like a big gut. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Like, I feel represented in this movie because I'm a drunken old man. Like, no, I don't want to see that. I want to see fucking Kratos fucking like tearing the shit out of fucking everything in the universe. And so I don't know. This is a bad shot. It's obviously a first shot. We're reacting as per usual. I am reacting myself personally as a massive fan of the God of War franchise. I wanted to watch the Spartan who let his arrogance and his like vanity end up being the tragedy that sets him off on the real quest of his fucking life. He wanted to win everything, and he didn't want to die, and he wanted to keep winning everything. Thought it was a great message, and then you get to see how far he'd fallen and what kind of like a rage-filled monster he turned into, and why he was so angry at the gods for playing games with mortals and semi-mortals. That would have been fucking great. I don't want to watch a sitcom, but I mean, I'm talking shit early. It could be really great. I hope that it is. I'm not liking these initial images.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it could be so much greater with the original story. That's the point.
And
The
if they
original story
follow,
is
yeah.
God of War. That's what God of War always was.
Yeah, that's how he becomes God of War, actually.
Yeah, who is this guy? Like, if you're
No
just
idea.
starting, how am I going to explain my dad?
Yeah.
Who loves badass males killing stuff on the screen? I mean, I grew up like that just because my dad loves Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I grew up with watching badass men my whole life, like kung fu movies and whatever, just because of my dad. So he has a very big, big. What's the word for that? Prinus.
Contribute.
Contribute.
He contributed,
Sorry, I
yeah.
forget words. Yeah, contribution to me liking badass man muscles and starting drawing muscly guys and whatever. So how am I going to explain my dad? Hey, dad, this is super cool. You gotta be excited because this guy is Kratos. But he was actually in Greece and he comes from there and he's actually a son of Zeus. But now he's here in the north and we don't know how. But now he has a son.
Well,
What?
if I'm your dad, I'm going to say, but can we see the things that happen in Greece first?
Logic, logic.
Logic, yeah.
Just so
Also, as
amazing.
Tsunami said first, show us this arrogance and everything else, and then the way of him becoming the caring father and whatever.
This is the
You know,
afterthought. This is the
this is the
aftermath.
afterthought. Yeah.
And I always was so disappointed, guys. I remember when I was playing the game, the new game, the first game, and I was like, okay, so can we now know how did he end up here? How? What happened? I know how God of War 3 ended up.
Yeah.
He was
I-
basically dead. Like how? What happened?
How, yeah.
And everybody were like, don't worry, Gary. The developers will not leave us hanging.
Mhm.
They will totally tell us
Sure.
what happened to Kratos and
Sure,
why he is
sure.
here. And I'm like, okay, I'm playing the game, and then the end credits rolled, and I'm like, what? When is the answer? What happened? I still don't know why I play this.
Is this
What
is this the equivalent of seeing a small penis? No.
Yes. Thank you. That's the equivalent of seeing a small penis. Like I was waiting,
What the shit?
there was edging, and at the end, I finally time to know
Sorry, I
stuff,
couldn't just.
and then I see
it
this,
it was the perfect moment.
and it's this
you know.
then, and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I want my big awesome. Okay, never mind. Nami, yeah?
Yeah, I mean
Holy
that's what it
shit.
is, isn't it? That's what it is. So
Yes, thank you. Tsunami.
I'm not looking for wieners, so don't clip me, chat. But anyways, I had a thought when I was looking at this, because they're missing so much context for the story. Did you guys happen to watch the Berserk anime from the 90s?
He did.
yes, I did. Yeah.
So the first episode is about far in the future,
Hmm.
the Black Knight.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, me being super optimistic, couldn't they show us this version, them being in the forest, they're introduced, they filmed a few scenes from this time period
Hmm.
where Loki looks as young as he does, but then immediately shift backwards when who comes to his door? I forget which god comes to his door. At that moment where it's like time to pay the piper, they go completely cutscene, and for the rest of the season, it's just all about who the fuck Kratos is. At the start of every new episode, you could throw in some extra about what's going on in the current time period and continue to catch people up. And then you show the younger, fitter, absolute retard of rage version of Kratos. They could do so much with this if they wanted to.
Yeah.
If we're just gonna get some emotional fucking nonsense story, I'm already falling asleep just looking at this picture.
Yeah.
What a horrible image to fucking put out there first.
That would be amazing. That take that you say, yeah, just like in Berserk, indeed, because you show him in the future being badass, and then you show the way. how
Make
he
me
became
want
that
to
way.
know how
Yeah.
this guy got here. Like
Exactly.
that's what
Yeah.
I wanted to know. I put up with, because when I first watched Berserk, I was like, what is this? I want to watch the guy shooting crossbows and killing snake monsters and shit like that. Now I'm watching these like weird kids and whatnot, and then all of a sudden the anime really pulled you in because you want it was always in the back of your brain, like how did he get to where he's at now?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
really
Indeed.
think if they presented it that way, they could do something pretty awesome here.
Mm.
From what I read, though, they're only talking about doing 2 seasons. That's terrifying.
Oh wow.
2 seasons, so that's kind of like the 2 games, and that's it, and we
It's the
forget
2
about all the
games.
other games.
Why are we doing this at all? Like, oh no,
And why are
it's
we
all
doing
dumb.
this at all? Yeah, I mean, this is like as if you make a Devil May Cry TV show, and instead of starting from the 3rd game, which is the beginning, you start in the 5th, which is the ending, and there is no that whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of like that. I mean, it's again, it's much like with the comic book movies that we talked about, that instead of adapting the already established iconic stories, you take what is new just for the sake of being new, and you say we adapt this shit over here because it's new.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. They have there's a current mod. I know I keep talking about it. I'm a glazer on this one. Knight of the Seven Kingdoms just came out. It's very small scale. It didn't cost that much money. You're focusing on one person, not this fucking intricate, complex, blah, blah, blah. And everyone fucking loves it. And they're getting more excited about it. You don't have to spend $300 million to make a show, aka Rings of Power. You could just start off and let us get to know these characters. You have a few visuals that are pretty exciting, but really aren't that costly, and people would get hyped because it's a character-driven story. But they're putting us into a character-driven story that's in the middle of the story. I don't want to see it from here. Make me want to like these characters from the beginning. I want to see how they started and like how they fit into this whole universe. Do some world building too. But
Oh,
that's just me.
no, no,
Indeed,
that is not just
yeah.
you.
I think that's all of us. Yeah.
And I think that this picture is because he leaned forward. That's why it looks like he has a gut. So when he gets flex his stomach, he's not gonna look that way. But one
still,
question
yeah.
that is connected to what we're talking about: how the heck did he get this car? Hmm?
Oh,
Amazon,
indeed, yeah.
Amazon. How the heck do we
How
know?
the heck?
How did he get this car? And all of it, and actually, how the whole look of Kratos is because of what he gone through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the skin that looks covered in
Yeah.
his own dead
The
family
ghost of Sparta.
ashes.
Yeah.
Like
Well, even his weapons.
even his weapons. And now he
Yeah,
has Zack's, which is new.
But
Blades
is
of
it just the axe?
Chaos.
Yeah, the blades of
He's
So
chaos.
covered in
going to-
ash. Like, oh, how? Like, that's why I'm hopeful for. I know I went too far with it. I'm being optimistic, but I hope that they just go ahead because I remember the start of the game, and you go through these cutscenes, and there are instances where he has to remember back to where he came from. I don't want those to be small cutscenes though. They would need to direct full episodes for showing how this happened and whatnot. And exactly what you said, Garrett. Like perfect, 100%. Why is he covered in red? Is this some weird Norse tattoo? Who is this guy? Is he a Norseman? We don't even fucking know. So fingers crossed that they go somewhere with this. This is not the way I would have I wouldn't have rolled it out there with this photo.
Yeah, and then Vic said something that I saw, and Roadkill is being funny as always. So yeah, Vic, if we don't get what we want with this, and we will not, because we want Greece, unless of course they do something that we don't expect, and then actually go back, whatever. But even if they go back, I don't think they're going to dedicate enough time to the real story of Kratos. But people's gonna start using AI to recreate what we actually want to see. That's what's gonna happen.
That's what's
Or
going to happen,
we're
yeah.
just gonna play the games again because
Yeah.
everything is there already, made in 3D. It's just not that good looking.
Yeah, you do have emulated versions of the trilogy, the remastered.
Yeah, I
so
would love to play
we
that
could
on
do that.
stream and replay them as an adult because I actually never played them as
yeah. I
as
would
an
like to
adult.
do that
Yeah.
too. So maybe we could do something with that. Yeah.
So yeah, guys. Final thoughts. Final thought. Actually, we didn't read the article.
No. Yeah, you guys kind of skipped on past it, but I was
Talking
like, oh,
about
they're probably out of time or
professionalism
something.
10 minutes ago,
Yeah, so we talked about the TV show. Now we should talk about the DI rumors.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Tsunami, please read this, please.
What, the game? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cosmic Book News says new God of War game rumored to dump Kratos for DEI. A new God of War rumor claims Sony Santa Monica's next project in the franchise won't star Kratos at all. Instead, via X user Nate the Hate 2, the lead character will be Faye, Kratos' wife from the Norse saga, with a different gameplay style that leans more into action than the recent Norse era games.
What the hell?
What Nate the Hate 2 claims. According to Nate the Hate 2, the project is set within the God of War universe and stars Faye as the playable lead. He adds that the gameplay will differ from the Norse God of War titles with more focus on action. He also claims Sony's current plan is to reveal the game in 2026 and release it in the first half of 2027, assuming no delays. From him, here's what I heard. Yes, the game is set within the God of War universe. The lead character will be Faye. Gameplay is set to differ from the Norse God of War games. More focus on action. Current plan, reveal this year / release first half 2027, barring any delay. Where this started, Cory Barlog's new IP talk. This kicked off after ex-user WCCF Tech posted that Cory Barlog's long-rumored quote-unquote new IP may actually be tied to God of War, described as an expansion of the existing universe with a new franchise. That lines up with older chatter from industry reporters that Sony Santa Monica's next big project wouldn't be a brand new IP, even if it feels different from what the studios has done before. End article.
Okay. Oh, this guy. This guy's Cory. Okay. All right. So this is stupid if it's true. This, I mean,
what do we know about her?
It doesn't matter what we know.
Yeah, why,
It's called God of
She was in
War.
Daredevil.
why would I want to play as her?
I mean,
It's Karen Page.
It's Karen Page, okay.
Karen Page from Daredevil.
From there.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I just want to see if that's there.
Yeah.
But only with, I mean, basically Ginger.
So wait a minute. So now wait a minute, Mister. So they're giving me more action-focused oriented
not
game,
Kratos.
but with not Kratos. And in the other games,
Also, she died.
you know, also she died. Yeah, and in
Again.
the other games, we didn't have that much of an action. Then okay, just great. Who wants to play that? Then?
I mean, what are we doing here? At least if you're gonna make a normal woman go around and kill stuff, let it be
Or make
Xena.
a original game, or make
No,
the
we
Xena.
want Xena,
Yeah,
man. It's
I mean,
long overdue. We
yeah.
need Xena Warrior Princess, like a good open world
Actually,
game. Kind of
that show, if they just watched that show and Hercules, they would have known how to make an ancient Greece show with Kratos. But
yeah, I mean, you have same things in Xena as well. You have she killing all the pantheon of the gods.
yeah,
Stuff happening, like super interesting stuff. Real historical figures appearing there, interacting with Xena. Cool stuff like Caesar, Cleopatra. It's so cool.
everything
Like
is
it's
there.
just
Yeah,
standing there
everything's
to be picked up for something, but they never would do that. I don't know. Anyway, so what do you think today?
Yeah, I think that a lot of this stuff started in the 2020, early 2020s, and maybe late teens, and it seemed like this is the way that things were going in terms of culture, and they're still dealing with the ramifications of this. There is a big wake up call going on across the culture world, video games, everything else. But it's a huge ship, and I think it's going to take time to turn the ship. And as a result of, we're still going to have to deal with shit ideas, shit projects, and everything else until people start to realize we need to make money again. And hopefully, when they do, they're going to be like, this is a horrible idea. What are we doing? This feels a lot like, trying to think here. Oh, this feels a lot like Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yote. No one wanted to play Ghost of Yote, even though it's supposed to be the updated version of whatever. Like, we wanted to go back to Jin Sakai's fucking world. We didn't care about whatever new nonsense you had come up with, especially since you didn't tie it at all to the world of Jin Sakai. People got into the IP because of the main character. What the hell are you doing with this sidelong story many years after Kratos has essentially banged the entire fucking universe, and then he goes up north and finds a wife and settles down? No one wants to hear about that shit. No one wants to hear about this fucking lady. Let's go back to the part where fucking Kratos is fucking amazing because he's fucking metal.
Yeah.
But you know, they try to show you, Tsunami, how she was so good, so much better than him, that she got rid of all his quote-unquote toxic masculinity.
Of course.
God. I almost threw up in my mouth.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Quote unquote.
That was disgusting.
This will be as if you do a game about Mary Jane from the Insomniac Spider-Man games.
At least she doesn't look like Mary Jane.
At least that. At least that.
I'm gonna go on a rant,
Go.
but we have to stop soon. I mean, basically, guys, that whole thing with toxic masculinity is toxic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I grew up with super manly movies by the most manly
We all did.
manly characters ever. And that is amazing because as a girl, it makes me feel super awesome. You know, when you see such big muscular guys doing great heroic things on screen, you're like, oh wow, that is like real manliness, and they protect people, they're heroes, and I want to be like them as well in some kind of a way.
I know had a daughter in Commando.
Yeah.
Right? And he wasn't a toxic masculine father or anything.
And she was great and resourceful, by the way.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
also tried to help herself and escape, but
yeah.
that was played by Alyssa Milano, of course, like a first row, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, just the point is that from my point of view, when I see an action guy like that, it makes me feel like you are feeling as a guy towards this guy.
Yeah.
And I also have a lot of admiration. I mean, just like you was. It's the same thing.
Exactly. The same
So
thing.
I don't want to see ever a big muscular guys that's supposed to be the heroes or the villains be crushed down, like made smaller and less important because somehow a woman should shine. No, that's not how you do it. You write super awesome female characters like Xena, who had a long path, who suffered, who earned their abilities. They trained, they worked for that. Something happened to them. They had a growth path. They were, I mean, like Xena, she was evil, whatever. Then she got good because Hercules showed her the way, and she finally woke up. Like it's a great story.
Indeed, yeah.
That's how you should do it. And Hercules was never like brought down,
Never.
so she
indeed.
can shine. I mean, there's one episode technically, but this was not about Xena. It was just about him. It was about him. It was not about her. I mean, she helped him, but
Yeah.
just like a friend, just like anyone would help. It was
Indeed.
not about her being a woman. And
It wasn't
whatever.
like in Supergirl show when she had to put down Superman. So that's
And literally say
you know,
that. I mean, he had to say that she is better than
you're
him.
so much better than
That
me,
is
Carla.
disgusting.
It's like, Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
those old people don't understand at all that this kind of this way of thinking is toxic, really toxic for both men and women, because women need to feel, you know, like admiration and feel safe when they have a good man next to them. Also, very important, guys. A woman should feel like a woman. And a good man can make a woman feel like a woman as well. Like a good woman can make a man feel
Feel
like a man.
Mm.
You know, a good woman can totally totally like basically, I don't know how's the word for
Well,
that.
to complement the qualities of the man. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, really cheer him up,
really cheer him up.
make him
Yeah.
feel strong, show him his better qualities if he can't see them. You know, motivate him to be himself,
Indeed.
to build himself. The same thing can happen the opposite way. Like a man can do that for a woman, like care for her, protect her, so she can feel herself and whatever. That's
Yeah.
very important. Like that dynamic between man and a woman, when it's healthy, it's one of the most beautiful, amazing things ever. Because each and every gender feels better, basically, and
Exactly.
feels more themselves, not the opposite. One does not suppress the other, so the other can shine. That's not
Indeed.
how it works.
Why does Wonder Woman feel actually great with Steve Trevor, a normal mortal man? He's actually a real man who knows how to help her in the way as a man can. It's not because she has superpowers and she's way better than him or anything. No,
Yeah.
they complement each other.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, and I don't want to see my amazing. I mean, I love Kratos so much. He's one of my favorite characters. I don't want to
Yeah.
see this amazing anti-hero, hero, whatever, a guy to be replaced to have a game with somebody else when it doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I want
Indeed.
Kratos. Kratos is immortal. We can have endless amounts of stories with him. We can explore what happened after the Greek pantheon fell, because Athena was still there. I think
Yeah.
she was still alive. I don't know. Figure it out. You're the writers. But don't put him in Greece and not even give me any explanation why the heck he's there.
In Norse.
How cheap is that?
Norse.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I want Greece so much.
Indeed.
I'm
Don't we all?
Norse, yeah.
Don't we all?
I mean, again, last example, and then I will stop. Last example, guys. Again, we have everything very well shown in Xena because she is a Greek warrior, just like Kratos. She did destroy the Greek pantheon, just like Kratos, and she did go to the Norse to meet Odin and have a story there and whole history there. She also has a history there, but it was like just one of the things that just happened into her life. And then she I mean, we saw that she was a Valkyrie and she worked for Odin at some point while she was learning to be a warrior. I mean, her path of becoming a warrior, having all these abilities and knowledge, didn't just happen again. So she had a time. She was a Valkyrie, an actual Valkyrie. She wore a horse in the sky and she picked up warriors from the battlefield. She learned so many things from Odin. She manipulated him. It was so amazing. She learned so much. She adapted his whole this whole culture just so she can outsmart him later and just so she can be evil Xena basically. Oh, take a power of a ring. That was also a thing. A ring, whatever. And then years after that, we connect this story with what is happening now in her current life. And she goes to free Odin and she see what's happening there. So it's much more interesting when the hero is still based in Greece, still doing Greece stuff in Greece, like for the most of their life. But then something happened. They have to go to, let's say, the Norse part of the world. They have to go to Egypt because she was also there.
She was in China.
Yeah, she was in China. She learned a lot there. She fought Caesar. She was in Rome. Amazing. This is how you do it. You diversify the setting of the show by going different places, and amazing things are happening there that build upon the story, build upon her character. You understand more of her as a warrior in her past and what drives her, and in the meantime, Gabrielle is also growing and she develops, and it's amazing.
Yes.
So it's profound. It's just so good that it's profound. That's how Xena is made. But anything that we see now, it's total like an afterthought. Take the afterthought and make it to a show.
Make it into
Take
a
this
show, yes.
afterthought. Take Rings of Power. Nobody cares about that. Make it into a show.
Yeah.
Take the last 2 games of God of War that nobody grew up with. Make them into a show.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, like a
Yeah.
whole pattern of this mediocrity that just continues on and on and on and
Take
on.
those C-level characters and make movies about them.
Yes.
It's basically the same thing.
So last thoughts of Tsunami, and then we're gonna read the chat a bit, and then we're gonna go.
I've got a bit of a hot take, I guess. If these idiots want to make money again, it's really pretty simple. If you've got an IP, you direct it towards men. Men are the guys that are going to keep going back. They're going to buy your fucking movie. They're going to buy tickets to your movie. They're going to buy your movie on DVD, etc. The big action movies and everything else, make it for men. Big fucking strong dudes going and fucking getting shit done. If you want to make movies for women, you direct it towards their children, and the children are going to end up wanting to see the movie again 600 times. You're going to buy the DVD or whatever the new future version of that is. It's going to get played 600 times. Those are the people that are getting Disney Plus subscriptions and everything else because they want to go do something else and have their kids be entertained for a little while. That's how it used to work. You marketed towards like children's toys and everything else like that. Stop trying to confuse the two and make a movie that's like, we want the moms to be super excited to take their kids to this dad's IP where everyone can go ahead and get a little bit of. Stop doing that. Just make movies, TV, video games, whatever, entertainment for the specific genre that you are aiming at. If it's dudes, then make it for dudes. Like Xena for me, oh my god, I'm watching a girl boss on screen. I watch the shit out of Xena. I love Xena. Why? Because it's goonable. She's hot, but the story was also fucking good, which made it even better. They didn't have a bunch of fucking ugly people telling, oh, men, you're mad because you're men. Oh, women, you're weak because you're women. Like, they didn't do that kind of shit. They mixed it all in there, and it made sense for the target audience. If you want to go ahead and do Mandalorian and Grogu, fine. You're going to sell Baby Yoda figures and whatnot. That's a target demographic, but you're not going after Star Wars fans. So stop trying to fucking jerk everyone's fucking wiener around as though that's what your fucking demographic is. It's not. You want to sell fucking toys. You want to sell video games and make people go, oochie boochie boo boo, Grogu, Chubin Scoobu. That's what you're fucking doing. It's fucking retarded. And for whatever the hell you were talking about before, which sounded like The Notebook, that's clearly made for women. I'm not going to go and watch that on my own. However, if I'm trying to get laid, I probably will go watch it. If a girl's like, if you watch this, I'll like you more. The end. Target demographics, very simple.
I don't think that's a very hot take, though. Let me just add to your thoughts, Tsunami. So, okay. Before all the woke stuff happened, I don't think we actually had these conversations about target audiences. We just had movies, and although kind of looks like from now today's point of view that they are made for men or whatever, or for women, like The Notebook. What to tell you? I mean, when you make a good story, like you said with Xena, it's appealing both to men and
appealing
women
to both,
because
yeah.
it's a good story and it has beautiful people there. I think that's like universal. I would say the universal approach can speak to many people, even if, let's say, my mom is not the target audience for Fantastic Four, but she used to love the first 2 movies, the original movies.
It's a good story. It's a good story.
Because they made it compelling enough for the times. Like, think of those movies what you will now, but the point is, at the time, if it's the story is told in a particular way, even my mom can like it and be like, okay, superheroes, I get it now. And then she started watching superhero movies with me. The very specific movies like The Notebook are targeted towards particular types of women. I wouldn't say all women because I
Not
don't
all
want to
women,
watch
yeah.
that.
Not all women, yeah.
I don't want to watch that. God, I mean, you can have a very good romance stories if you really want to watch romances in superhero movies and like in Xena, whatever. I mean, you can integrate that
You can
if
integrate
it
it,
makes
yeah.
sense everywhere. So I would say just make good stories in both women and men that have some kind of a shrink of intelligence and maturity on an emotional level can enjoy, and that's it. But I mean, you're also correct. But if we think back how we used to think, everybody's gonna be successful.
Yeah, indeed.
Everybody's just gonna be
Just
successful.
make good stories.
Yeah,
That-
good
that's it.
stories.
Barbie
That's
was
it.
made for Barbie.
No,
Barbie was made for women and
that's
gay
specific.
dudes.
Yeah, I know. That's very
No,
specific.
but that's what I'm getting at. That's why it was such a successful movie, is because it was specifically targeted towards a certain demographic. What are you going to say? It's woke? What are you kidding me? Every girl, well, lots of girls grew up playing with Barbies.
I mean,
It made sense for
to
that.
me, it was very woke too.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I think you're a more of a very unique type of person when I'm talking about. I'm talking stereotypes, large percentages of peoples, and everything else. Stop doing this mixing thing. Make the stories, and I think you need to be more specific about who you're targeting. The majority of comic book fans are fucking gross, sweaty dudes, and then it turned into, hey, I really like this also, and a lot of other guys started to get on board with it too, and they looked up to these men, or they dreamt about these kinds of women as like these are ideal women, perfect models for both genders. But I did not feel like it was specifically directed at women until early 2000s, and once it started happening, everything started going down the shitter.
Sorry, we had a puppy spat because both Adi and Goldie wanted to be here at the same time. This is Adi. Goldie went down.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
kind of wanted to go away.
Oh, yo pollo. Okay, guys. Adi, if you wanna growl, we're not gonna be here. You
Hey,
see?
Sally, you remember when I told you I'd kill you
Yeah.
last? I lied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo!
Blink the
Yeah.
schnapps.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Dude, Arnold movies were so fucking good back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I'm a unique case and all, but it used to work before. I mean, how things were done before, it used to work for everybody. So yeah.
Well, we do have a friend, Teddy, that she enjoys action movies too and superhero movies. I mean, there are a lot of women who enjoy things like that. Just
I mean,
no, most of them don't enjoy them. Like you to see the
I
comparison.
swear to
They
God,
just enjoy that
Bulgaria is
it's,
Narnia.
Bulgaria is Narnia.
Yes, Bulgaria is Narnia. The way you guys talk about it, like holy
No, we
shit,
do.
that is not American at all. We have to
They
deal with
are,
all kinds of fucking nonsense
Here
over
existent
here.
those women
Apparently,
that want to drag their boyfriends or husbands to the Notebook and stuff like that, and they have to oblige, and that exists here too. We
That
just have
also exists, yeah.
women who like action movies, but not in the way that Templars does. She sees the character and the complex stuff. Most of them just go because they want to see an action movie.
Yeah, I see
for
everything.
the record,
Yeah.
I did do Twilight. I only made it halfway through the movie. Vampires playing baseball. I fucking spurged out and was like, no, I'm not doing this. Not even for fucking getting laid. I'm not doing this.
I
So that's-
get it.
start.
one
I
of the
totally
movies that
get
I
it.
was like,
I mean,
no.
I totally get
I
it.
didn't even start with those movies. I just say they sparkle. No. Just no.
Lord Ragnar, I don't know how it's increased, but yeah.
What did he say?
So wait, if I come to Bulgaria, we'll be in Narnia? Well, no,
Yeah,
No.
apparently.
not really. When you come to Bulgaria from America, probably is.
Probably
Yes. I mean, I've never heard Greece to have anything different in here. I don't know. I don't know how things are
I
there.
think not.
Okay, guys. So we really gotta go. I hope. I mean, I saw some of the comments were super funny. So thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm exception and I'm not the rule. Oh yeah, I just want to say that for sure, from time to time, we have to make movies like Barbie that are very particular. But for the most part, you can do action movies that are done like in the old days, focus on the main character, the badass guy, and that's it. Really simple, actually. I would like to see that. I don't like to see anything else. There's many cool movies with women now. The lead is a woman. Again, make it like we'll make an action movie about
Yeah.
the guy.
I mean, I like the ballerina.
Like the ballerina, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
so
So
cute.
yeah, do this. Just make it real, objective.
Yeah.
It's how
Make
she
a
would
good
fight,
story.
how she knows how to fight. All of that has to make sense in the world and all of those things. Hateful historical gets arrested in London
London
stats.
stand.
I'm not saying act like that in the real world, but I mean, just be a man, basically. The vampire baseball scene made Tsunami walk out through the hand job. What?
You're so close, but it didn't happen. I managed to get to the finish line, but it took a lot of talk.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to
Boy.
set. Rodkill says the Barbie movie was fire. I would like to set it on fire, actually.
I would like to set it on fire. That
I mean,
I know a lot of guys that like the Barbie movie. I didn't watch it personally, but
those
like,
are not
there's a
real
lot of guys
guys.
that were like,
don't
well,
talk
I
like
think
that
that
to
the reason they
Rodkill.
liked it is because they were trying to clown on Ken, but Ken turned into a whole meme, and so actually a lot of guys like they thought it was funny, and they're like, you're trying to make fun of Ken, but Ken seems pretty based. Like what? So I never watched the movie, so I don't know, but I have heard this before from a lot of different types of men that are not feminine at all, and they're like, dude, what did they used to say? Was the Ken? They had a Ken meme.
Yeah, but we saw both sides,
No.
how they portrayed Barbie and how they portrayed Ken, and we didn't like it at all. We saw between the lines, and it wasn't.
Roadkill for a 1999.
Oh my gosh!
Oh boy, Tsunami and I
You did
watched
miss
the
some other
Barbie
ones
movie
too. I
like 5
apologize.
times. I hope not
Sebrew for
together.
2. Sebrew
Tsunami.
for 2. Here's dollars. Sebrew with a super sticker for 2.
Thank you.
Sorry guys,
Thank
I
you.
did. We did not go over these, so I wanted to make sure I at least hit them.
Yes.
I apologize, Empress. I cut you off. I did not want to forget these. It did. I was starting to forget.
Yes, I thank Sibru personally because I couldn't say anything. So thank you so much, Sibru, for the 2 2s, and thank you so much, Roadkill, Tsunami, and I watched Barbie movie like 5 times.
As
He
I said,
exposed it.
I
Thank
hope
you.
not together.
Yeah, and the most muscular. Yes. And for Roadkill especially, I'm gonna do the V-taper. Let's sit down because I'm gonna step on that.
Also remember that scene in Barbie that this Latino actress, I forgot her name, that she had that big speech about women,
yes.
and Grace Lando said that this is Oscar-worthy speech and stuff
No,
like that. So
no,
what
guys,
are you talking
really,
about? That's
really, Barbie movie is huge propaganda piece, and I don't like it at all. I'm sorry. I don't like how men are shown, how women are shown. It's
you know. They're a lot better Barbie properties. They used to do those CGI cartoons about Barbie and different adventures. These are a lot better, by the way.
Yeah.
I did not watch those, but I heard that they were good.
Yeah.
But something for you guys, just to give you like an outside perspective, or maybe a different country's perspective. The way that people talked about Barbie and the whole like conundrum around that, that's about 60% of women in the United States right now, regardless of what they look like. So when you're like, America also seems like hell or whatever you guys probably think, like that's true. Like that's a real thing. That's what when we're like bitching in the chat and you guys are like, what? Women aren't like that. We're like, actually in America they are.
Hold
There
on,
it is
because
in
there's
chat
a
right
lot
now.
of barking going on. Trying to hear you. It's very difficult. So, you were saying that most women are like that in America. We got it. We got it. I mean, we know that. We just want to say how things are actually.
For the chat, like worldwide perspective, because there's so many people from everywhere, and they've never even like thought about America. But like, yeah, that's a very American thing, and unfortunately, you know, it obviously leaked out there to the rest of the world. But that's something that we deal with here, like regular, everyday women.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I think that if the world was not so brainwashed, they will see Barbie like we have. Just another propaganda piece in form of a movie using Barbie to push their own ideals. That's it. That's it. What it is to us. And also, really, Ryan Gosling for Ken. They couldn't pick a manlier actor. Like Ken is a black-haired guy with blue eyes, looking like Superman, basically. I mean, he has a great physique, but he was never like a manly guy. He doesn't even have the face.
Not the face.
His eyes are too close. He doesn't have the jawline. He's made out to be super handsome, where he's actually never was and never will be.
Also, there was a fat Barbie.
There was a freaking fat Barbie. Yeah, the DEI stuff that are like injected inside were like countless. So no, thank you. Of course, the Barbie is woke. It's woke like the whole fabric that's made of it's freaking woke. So yeah.
But yeah, we sat through it.
Yay. It's very forgettable as well.
That
Oh
was
my
very
God.
good,
Yeah.
actually.
Chat right now is full of guys that have watched the Twilight movie.
Oh,
If you
boy.
guys want to see a funny, go see what Bella looks like now and what she's been saying recently. Retard.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's brain dead,
indeed.
unfortunately. She was just deleted by the woke mind virus.
Mm.
And she turned gay basically for the same reason, I think. He is the literally me actor, Ryan Gosling. The me actor? What do you mean? It has done horrific damage to our society as a whole. Yep. Well, I did see all the Twilight movies, but
Thank you for your service.
Gross.
yeah,
Yeah,
I,
for
I
real.
was
Like,
I was very
I've
young.
done some combat tours, but you've done some real shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very young. But then we got honest trailers with all the breeding montages of
Mm.
Bella. So
You know
that
what?
was amazing.
You know, someone should
Please
put
look at
both.
Roadkill's comment.
Someone should put both Blade and Van Helsing into those movies, and everything will be fine then. Go on a sparkly
Please look at
vampire.
Roadkill's
kill
comment.
spree.
Yeah, I had a fat Barbie, but I moved on. What do you mean?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Were you able to get it up? Because I don't know.
Oh, boy. But she as fat as the one in the movie, though. 'cause that was.
Semper Fi, you scumbag.
And by the way, I still to this day haven't seen a doll of that fat Barbie. So it
Oh.
didn't. I saw all the other things like Black Asian, whatever. Even one in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Even one in a wheelchair. I have yet to see that toy, and I said, so where the hell is that then?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Because people in a wheelchair actually want to see that and to play with
Represented
it.
and to play
Sure,
with it.
sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what did you say, Tsunami? Because we exploded and we didn't hear you.
Nothing. I was just laughing at Roadkill's comment, which is too funny. I
Oh.
said
That
Semper
we
Fi,
deserve to know.
Oh,
you
oh,
scumbag.
oh my gosh. Disney Princess Syndrome. There's a lot of issues here. Yeah, at
Yeah.
multiple levels.
Multiple.
I mean, there's a guy on YouTube that actually deals with explaining manipulation like that. I mean, different levels of manipulation, like psyops and stuff. And he actually just explained about Iran, and it's amazing. Never mind, all those things actually still connect to how the woke mind virus works and how people are brainwashed by it. And when they do a movie, they do a movie in such a way, they tell the story in such a way that you kind of try to excuse it yourself. You're compelled. So it's all those things, but we just see through it because we only grew up with base normal things
Yep.
and real
Indeed.
heroics and real characters and real women characters and all those things. So we know how it should be. But in any case, guys, love ya. We are very much overdue. 2 hours and 26 minutes. We gotta go. Thank you so much for the support, Roadkill, like beyond belief, and of course, Sebrew. Thank you, Tsunami, for being here so late. So see you guys at the evening with the Cory game, if we can manage the new Cory game that Joey gave me, with John Wick in there somehow also. So thank you guys. Love ya. Bye bye.
See ya, chat.
The 40K Empress leads the way as warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes, with faith and fire will prevail, for the imperium must not fail. For the imperium we prevail. Beneath the grand cathedral spires, plots twist like smoldering fires, but with her blade of pure desire, she claims the stars entire. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful and battle cries. Her banners pierce the darkened skies. With bolter hymns the traitor dies. As loyal warriors arise, saints and psychers bend the flame. Every world speaks her name. The Empress rules without shame. As war she does reclaim. Through stars and storms we rise. Under her watchful eyes. With faith and fire we'll prevail. For the imperium must not fail. The imperium we prevail. The warriors march with sacred might. Their purpose burning crystal bright. To lift the throne world from its plight and guard humanity's light.